Hey guys, Travis here on week 8 of the LCS Day 2, joined by Chuuper, currently of Complexity. Your future right now is a little undetermined. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do this interview with you and get a feel for what's going on with you. So, for folks that don't know, earlier this week, Complexity announced that Probably would be replacing you as the starter for the mid player. And other than that, we haven't heard too much out of you or Complexity regarding your future. So right now, can you sort of give me an idea of what happened and why you ended up leaving the starter position?
Well, we were at last place before the games this week, so our team really felt as though something needed to change, whether it was a personnel change or regiment change, just something needed to change within like our practice and the way we approach the game. So we just decided to have a roster change in this case and probably moved in. And it seems to have really revitalized the team because they went 2-0 this week, or 2-1. And it could have been a 3-0 this week, so it was a good change so far.
So for you specifically, was it something where they approached you and just said that we felt like you're not performing right now, or what sort of led to the current situation that you're in?
The way it was handled was through a team meeting. They basically approached me last week and said that they felt as though with Probably their chances of finishing the season strong were better. And it wasn't necessarily like my performance being lackluster or whatever. It was more just that the team felt as though they really started to stagnate. Our play didn't seem to be innovative, and obviously you guys see Probably with his bright personality and he's full of energy. So he was really the spark that they needed to come in and shake things up, and that was the main reason why they brought him in.
So what is currently going on with you? What is your excuse me? What is your current status on the team? Are you still living at the apartment? Are you a sub? Are you like what's your situation?
Yeah, so just like Bishu, our other sub, I'm also on the bench now. I'm basically just in the same position probably was before. I'm still in the apartments, however. I am living with them for an undetermined amount of time. Basically, until I figure out where I want to go with my life. I guess I have like a few options. I could just like retire from the game and quit playing. I could maybe find an amateur team, or I could make my own. But either way, time is going by really fast, and I don't have much time to really come up with something before Riot starts their qualifiers. So just like everyone else, I'm still wondering what I can do in my life myself.
Are you are you leaning towards something in particular?
I obviously would prefer to stay in the scene, stay relevant, and be a competitive player because that's the only thing I want to do. Um, when they broke the news to me that I was gonna get benched, the only thing that I felt was empty, not resentful, not sad, uh, not confused, just really empty. Because I realized that this part of my life, which basically like every day I would wake up and play this game, so 90% of my life, this part of my life, League, was about to be over, and that really just shook me, and I didn't know how to handle it. And even like now, just everything feels really surreal. It kind of feels like I'm just floating on. So I really want to stay in the scene, but if that's not feasible, then I'm gonna have to deal with reality.
So earlier today, sort of along this discussion, I saw MLG announced that they would no longer be broadcasting amateur League of Legends tournaments on a weekly basis. No idea yet what's going to happen with their events in the future with League, but for the very least, they're not doing that. And right around that time, you tweeted about how you felt like the League of Legends amateur scene was sort of falling apart, or something to that effect. I'm sorry if I misquoted you. Uh, you know, as you're looking at the amateur scene right now, do you have a lot of concerns? What are your thoughts on it overall?
Yeah. I was sort of under the, I guess, guise of the pro scene for a while, and just I was in the LCS. I was more established. I had a secure salary, and Riot was taking care of it, basically everything. Like they've been great. Only until now that I got moved to a bench position have I really seen how hard it's been for some of the amateur teams and some of the amateur players. For example, like IPL got pulled out. Now MLG stopping their weekly broadcasts. It just seems as though the amateur scene is starting to fall apart, and even teams and players themselves are starting to like break away from their organizations, quit, retire, what have you. And I know this personally because I've been reaching out to players, maybe make a team, And, people are saying they're quitting or they don't think it's possible anymore if they're not in the LCS. And plus, there's another barrier to entry now with the LCS that these teams who have gaming houses and they're practicing every day, it's really, really hard now for just like your average Joe to feel as though they could break into the scene.
All right, so sort of wrapping up the interview, I kind of want to talk about this because it was kind of interesting to me because I think a lot of people in your position would feel really bitter. They'd leave. They just want to be done with it. But I noticed as we were watching that game together, you were not only just rooting for Complexity, but also extremely excited when Prawley would make a big play. So it seems as though your relationship with Complexity is still really solid. I just wanted to sort of ask you, is that a true feeling? Like, do you guys seem to have that connection still? Like, what are your thoughts right now on just your relationship with that team?
Oh yeah. I don't know if most people know this, but me and Probably are actually decent friends. I met him at the qualifiers way back in January, and we were both just wide-eyed players trying to break into the scene. Well, he was in the scene before, but get salaried and whatever. We both play mid, and we love talking about it. So we're actually good friends. Like, and in terms of the rest of the team, like, I did avoid talking to them the day they broke the news to me, obviously, but after that, no, it was basically the same as it's always been. Like, I still talk to them, and we still joke around and talk about the game. And I'm really trying my best to not make it awkward since they're graciously letting me still stay at the place, and Complexity and our great sponsors still letting me use their PCs and their headsets and everything. So yeah, we still have a really good relationship, and I for sure don't want to burn any bridges or anything like that. But yeah, they're just as lost as I am in terms of like what I can do with my future. So it's not as though, oh, they're not providing me anything. They're not, Frank isn't going out of his way to find all these teams. We're all really just trying to figure out something that I can do. It does seem a little sketchy right now, I guess.
Well, anyway, I just want to thank you for the interview very much. I know that I won't shake your hand because I got a cold, but I don't want to also give you a cold. I'm sure that would be frustrating, but I want to just thank you because I feel like a lot of people in a similar position would not want to be so open about it and sort of have this conversation. So it's been really informative. I can only hope the best for you in whatever path you decide to take. So thank you very much. For everyone, this is Travis on week 8 of the LCS Day 2. You can check out the rest of our coverage at gamespot.com/LCS.